Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to my home sweet classroom. I am very happy it is Tuesday. Now, if you're following me on Instagram, I posted a New Year's activity that I did with my students yesterday, and that turned out really great. This is what it looks like. Preparing for a lesson we're going to have this afternoon, the early explorers. This is probably my favorite part of studying the regions of the United States, is that we get into depth on the history. I'm doing something a little bit different this year. Last year, I think I remember doing, not last year. The year that I did 4th grade, I think I remember doing more of a PowerPoint, more interactive journals. But this time, I'm going to do a week of activities and interactive lessons on the explorers, such as projects and more hands-on visual learning. So I really want to show you what that looks like. So please stay tuned. Okay, so what I have here are my items for the exploring reasons for exploration for our lesson in social studies today. And I wanted to share with you guys this lesson because it's so engaging, and I'm so excited to see the hands-on learning that my students are going to be doing today in social studies. I went ahead and made this template, reasons for exploration, and I'm going to be providing my students these items here. I have a flag, a Bible, gold, and spices. Now, the way I'm providing my students these items is through things that I actually had at home. These are the spices that I had at home. I had cinnamon, cumin, nutmeg, and whole cloves. Now, honestly, I would like to provide my students the whole ones, but unfortunately, I don't have access to many spices here on base. So these are the ones I had at home, and what I want my students to get the gist of is that spices were very much a motive for the explorers. So within the text, I actually want my students to find this evidence, and I found these online through the Mr. Nusabam. I hope I'm not butchering that, but this is a great resource. I found several articles on Juan Ponce de Leon, reading comprehension, Robert LaSalle, Christopher Columbus, and the last one, the Gold Rush, which goes back to my item gold. So I will give them all of these items, and also I have a let's go question mark, what is out there. What I want them to be doing with this is to understand that there are motives for students, and it'll start hinting to them, and they'll start getting the understanding that explorers have motives for all of these items, and they will be, I don't know where I'm going with that, but this is another prop that I have for them, and the flag. I did not find a different flag, but I want them to understand that the flag represents the motive for territorial, and the explorers had reason to put their territorial boundaries on when they were exploring. So these are the articles that I found, and what I want my students to be doing this afternoon is finding the importance of each item, or the importance or motive for the item, and finding the key word based on the text evidence. So our curriculum is heavily based on text evidence and closed reading. What I want them to do with the article is go ahead and annotate it and find the keywords within the article to add onto the chart. So this is a great reading lesson as well. So I'm really excited to see what they come up with. All of these items are from home, like I was telling you, so very easy hands-on learning in social studies. I'm really excited to see what they come up with and how they work together and collaborate with each other. But I will definitely be observing my students to seeing how engaged they are in this lesson. Call out is Happy
New Year!
Happy
New Year!
Happy
New Year!
Happy
New Year!
Okay, go sit down, boys. All right, We are in the year 1513, long time ago. Are you ready? You were sitting with a group of Spanish soldiers around a crackling campfire in Puerto Rico. One soldier is telling stories he heard from the native people of Puerto Rico. Across the sea, there is an island called Bimini, where the fountain will stay young forever, he says. The other soldiers are clearly interested in the tale. The leader of the group rises to his feet and says, I propose an expedition to search for Bimini. Bimini. Who is with me?
Me.
I don't want to
Several soldiers rise to their feet and step forward, shouting, "Hey!" So if you're with me, I want you to do it. Are you with me? Hey! Are you willing to join the expedition, or are you going to stay behind?
I'm gonna stay.
I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna die.
You don't know what to expect. Are you nervous about it, maybe?
No, because I'm ready to go. I can't wait to drive a boat.
So talk to a neighbor, turn and talk to a neighbor as to why you would
Y'all are
join.
gonna be invincible. We're gonna be in the water. We'll be invincible. Yeah. I will join the swim.
Happy?
New Year.
Happy?
New Year.
Okay, so before we begin our journey, we're going to talk about some people and places that we're going to read in this chapter. Some people and places you will find are the explorers Juan Ponce de Leon, say it with me,
Juan Ponce de Leon.
Hernando de Soto,
Hernando de Soto.
and Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson.
Places you will hear about is St. Augustine, Florida,
St. Augustine.
I've been there.
Roanoke Island,
Roanoke Island.
Jamestown, Virginia.
I've been to Virginia.
You've been there, awesome. Monticello. How
Monticello.
many of you been there?
I've been to Jamestown.
You've been to Jamestown?
And I've been to.
How many of you have lived in Virginia?
I lived in Jamestown. I lived there.
You lived in Jamestown? Did you been to Florida?
I've been to Florida.
All right.
Well, I basically live there.
Happy?
New Year.
Happy?
New Year.
Okay. We are going to be reading about and going on the journey to the early history of the Southeast. Now we talked a little bit about the Southeast, and we talked about what crops are grown there. You learned with the sub last week about the
Cherokee.
What new learnings did you find? The Cherokee. What other new findings did you learn about the Southeast? Aubrey?
That the Cherokees lived on the mountains.
Cherokees lived on the mountains.
Not the karaoke.
Sophia?
Karaoke.
Cherokee. It's not karaoke, it's not karaoke.
Forced off their land. What motive drove them? Or not drove them, but drove others to force them out? Gold. Which brings me to
I'm just copying them because I was.
gold. I have some items here that I'm going to show you. Hello everyone, happy Wednesday. It is now almost the end of the week. We're halfway through the week and it has honestly just flown by. In social studies, today our lesson is going to still be on explorers, and I have a new project. It's called the Explorer Project. I think I mentioned it yesterday. Well, anyways, the Explorer Project, I've given my students I've divided them into 4 different groups, and these 4 groups have a different explorer they have to study and do research on, and they're going to trace themselves on butcher paper Unfortunately, we don't have white, so it'll have to be on I got yellow as the lightest color I could find. But they'll go ahead and trace their bodies onto the paper, and they will create a life-size explorer. So the tasks are, each student actually has a job for each one. I just picked up 2 different explorers I have here. This is what the cards look like. Each one has a job on there. So for example, this is Christopher Newport, and Christopher Newport has your team. This is the job for a team leader. Any artistic touches made to your explorer must be approved by you first. So every student has to approve adding more color or adding more details to the life-size explorer that they're going to be drawing and creating onto the butcher paper. The other job is, for this particular student, is the team secretary. So this student will be the team secretary, and that student will have to do all the writing that appears on the explorer and also on the scroll that they will have at the end of their final product. The next one is Juan Ponce de Leon, and this particular student also has the team leader job, also has the material manager job. Unfortunately, we have art on Friday, so my students will be able to get some materials that I probably don't have in my classroom. I have seen some ideas such as aluminum foil, so I probably will bring that in if the art teacher isn't able to provide it. But I do definitely want to be able to provide my students anything that they need, that maybe they can search online for ideas and be as creative as they can with this project. It's definitely hands-on, which is amazing. I love hands-on projects. And this also student has the Google job. So they have to research online, and there actually is other websites that I will guide my students to go onto other than just a broad search engine, Google. So I'll have them go onto ebooks. There's Tumblr books, but not all of them. We don't have the subscription, so they're not all accessible, but we do have other accessibility to other books online. So I will guide them to those websites so that they're able to find these resources. But they also will find images for the team as to what they're supposed to be drawing or creating on the paper as for the life-size explorer. So I'm really excited about this project. I cannot wait to show you guys and get started this afternoon. I've already assigned them jobs. I've already put them into groups. I have 4 groups because they're 4 different explorers. I think 2 groups have 3 students, and then the other groups only have 2. So we're quite a bit of a small class. It worked out really well. I try to put students into groups where I know they're going to work well, but also the smaller groups have more, they're able to do more, take on more responsibility. So I think that worked out really well. I'm really excited. I cannot wait to see their final product. I want to expect for this to be at least 2 to 3 days. There's no telling, but I definitely want them to be able to work on it on Friday during art class. So let's go. I am ready to get that going. They're coming back from lunch in a little bit, so they'll be able to do the first task, which is trace the body and get our Chromebooks so that they can start researching and writing all of their facts. But I'm really excited. I cannot wait to show you guys. And are we ready? Let's go. Hello, it is now Thursday, and goodness, I can't believe it's almost Friday already. Anyways, well, this morning I actually didn't get to record. It is now almost 4 o'clock, and the day has just flown by. We have gotten a lot done today. I can't say we haven't, but it just has gone by so quickly. Well, this morning I was actually with my students at the library for specials, and we have it first thing in the morning. So I was with them there, and they did their activity for social studies, and I have a template here. This is what it looks like. I really like this because oh goodness, my name. I really like this template because it's in the shape of a ship, and it has a lot of information that they were gonna need. It guides them through that research. So I have the template here, and I really like this template because it really guides them through all the research pieces that they need to look for, such as their motivations. First thing, of course, is to put the explorer name down, the major accomplishments, the motives for or reasons for exploring. So I really like how it's laid out and how my students can organize their thinking. And then of course, I love displaying their work in the classroom. So this is something that I had them fill out with their partner or with their group, and then I will have them color it, design it, and then put it up in the classroom. So if you're interested in this came, actually I don't remember where I got this from. I'll definitely leave it a link if you're interested. But this was a really great activity for 4th grade standards. They do study the explorers in the Southeast region, is what we're learning about the early history of the Southeast region. So that was a really great piece for them to be able to collaborate with their peers on the age of the exploration, and something to also do at the library with the librarian, and having that assistance from the librarian as far as sources and where to get their sources from. So this is a couple of my students' work. I thought they were being very creative. He made the water at the bottom. Lots of information. I love this. This is really great. This is exactly what I want to see. This student did a really good job. Here's some more. Here's another one. Lots of information. I can tell they were really working at this, and a lot of my students genuinely enjoy working together and doing the whole research activity part of it. So that was really great to see. I love when they are able to look for resources and use the information specialists in the library so that they can better guide them as to, in the future, preparing them for college, for 21st century, and being able to use those skills. That is one thing I really look at this one. Even did all of that. I love it. You can't really tell what they wrote here, but if you look closely, I can tell. Did a really great job at that. I really like that. But they came out really great. I'm really excited to put them in the classroom. Put them with, actually, I want to show you what my focus wall looks like for social studies. I don't have a whole wall. Well, let me just show you. So this is what my focus wall looks like. I only have half a board, as you can tell. The other half is science and on the top, and then the other side is math. But I have put up some things on my focus wall for the age of the exploration, which is the early explorers. I have some of the explorers here, Christopher Columbus being one of them, a map. Now this map, I actually had them put it in their journals, and they labeled it with each region. I plan to do that, I just haven't gotten to it. And a map of the early exploration, discovering the world. So it maps out each of the it maps out each of the pathway or the journey of each. And then I have a couple artifacts here and books. I really like my students to be able to have a variety of books, and especially with the topics that we are learning about in the area of study. So this is what it looks like. And even their things are all here. This is their Explorer project that they're working on. Just kind of laid it out there. Tomorrow they'll be taking it to art to finish up working on it. So I'm quite excited to have that all finished up and tidy that up for tomorrow. So that's really all I have today. I do need to plan a little bit more for the rest of the chapter. We're getting close to the end of the chapter, actually the unit. So we'll soon be starting the, I believe, the Midwest region. I'm not quite sure now, but we will be going on to a different region. So I need to start planning for that, and we do alternate between science and social studies. So I do need to kind of plan for that. We actually have a science teacher with a science lab. So I'm really excited to be able to collaborate with her and join or have her even come to our classroom to give some mini lessons on that. I really like having others coming into our classroom. It gets my students really engaged and really involved, and honestly they just really look forward to new learning that can come from other ways. That they honestly just get really excited when they get a visitor in the classroom, and I do too. I really enjoy having others come in the classroom and share their learning or share their artifacts, things like that. So that'll be fun to look forward to and get to plan. But today, that is all I have. As far as our activity, we continued to work on the Explorer project. They added some more touches to their lives, their human size Explorer. So tomorrow we'll actually be going to art, and I'm hoping to get a little bit of video of that. The art teacher has an ample amount of materials. So I am excited to see what they come up with, if they can get any more creative. I try to hint some things here and there, but I really want them to come up with their own things. Actually, one student made a sword, which is super cool. I'm bringing in aluminum foil. So I think he was planning to put some aluminum foil to make it more realistic. So when they put it on the Explorer, it looks like it looks like a real sword because of the aluminum foil. So I'm really excited to see how that turns out. But that's all for today, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Hey guys, happy Friday. I hope everyone's enjoying their end of their week, and I have enjoyed doing this video with you guys for social studies. I really enjoy teaching social studies and really digging into the history and everything that has to do with teaching the regions. But this week has particularly been pretty interesting. We've had several projects going on, and we'll still continue doing some on Monday and Tuesday. But we have reached the end of the week, and we're getting close to the end of the unit for the Southeast region. So I'm really excited, or I'm really happy that I was able to share that with you guys, and I hope you are enjoying it as well as much as I am. But I did want to show you something that I am doing. This is their South region travel journal. So every time we go somewhere or we read about a new state or go into a topic, we do make stops, and as like we're traveling through the Southeast region. This is what they look like. They're really cute. I really like them. I did pick up this template online, and it looks like this. It is a travel book of a boat tour to the Southeast, and the students, I go with them I guide them through each trip, and we make stops. Sometimes we do visits, sometimes we don't have enough time, so we just do a stop. I get really engaged in this part of the lesson. This is where I have them write more specific facts and more details about each stop. So I think this is a really great way to get students more involved and more excited about their learning and their new learning and findings into the lessons. So this student, for example, we went to the Everglades. Today we actually went to Disney World, and I brought in, or I didn't bring in, on the Promethean board, I did a virtual field trip, and I had students go. I printed out brochures, and each table had a different brochure and each student had to pick where they wanted to go, what location they wanted to visit. So I gave them this template, and this was actually free online at thetalkingsuitcase.com. And I think it's really meant for when you're actually going, but it was just a really great way to have this during this lesson. So that was really exciting, and I'm going to give him the photo later. I really want to print it in color, and I didn't have access to a color printer right now, so I have that. And this particular student went to the Buzzard Beach Water Park, so that was one of the locations that was on the tables, and they got to read about what's going on at that what you can do at that park. So parks that I put were like the Magic Kingdom, the Animal Kingdom, the several water parks, all of those things they were able to go and visit, so make a stop at. And they talked about what the weather was like, they drew a picture, their favorite ride or event, and then they'll have to go back. We ran out of time, so they'll have to be writing about their favorite memory during that time. So this was a really quick activity. I did have a crossword puzzle for them on the back. So this is what they'll keep in their travel log, along with their journal or diary entry. And we also visited Jamestown, Virginia, which is down here. And I had them write in a fact. We talked about how in Jamestown, Virginia, it was the first successful British colony, and they founded more colonies, so they had to write those facts in and draw a picture. I actually had some of them, or most of them. This particular student didn't, but I had them do the fort, how it was built, and just building upon that foundation of learning about the Southeast region is what my intention really is. But next week we'll be visiting Memphis, Nashville, Tennessee, and we'll be talking a little bit about the Gulf of Mexico, just touching up on all of that part of the Southeast region. So that was pretty much what we did for Soul Studies today. And I think that's really it. Next week we'll wrap it up. I do want them to create a brochure. It's a project-based learning for the brochure for the Martin Luther King Jr. It's actually part of the Southeast region unit, so that fit perfectly. I think next week I was going to touch on that topic anyway because of the holiday, so that actually fit perfectly to go along with the brochure at the time it did. So I'm really excited to see that. Some of my students enjoy it, some of my students feel like it's too much work, but it's really a lot of their creativity and research-based learning. So I really enjoy the projects that they do, and I really like seeing the result and how proud they are of themselves, really. So that's really exciting. I'm going to wrap it up here. I hope you enjoyed this video and you got to see a little bit of how I teach social studies in class, just a little bit. I do like to that's the baby in the background. I had to come back with the baby for a little bit. He had a doctor appointment, so he came back with me. But I'm gonna wrap it up here. I really hope you enjoyed this. If you did and you liked some of my ideas that I had in the classroom, or you'd like to share with me new ones, please comment below. I really enjoy reading about them, and I'm sure others would too. Social studies is one of those topics that needs a lot more engagement, more hands-on, and it's really fun to bring that back and bring that into the classroom. So please share with me what you might have, ideas you might have, or just something that maybe you might want to comment to me about that you've experienced. But if you have liked this video, please like it, give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and click the notification bell so that you can be ready or be watching for new videos in the future. I would greatly appreciate it, and it would mean so much to me if you'd be part of my community. I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching till the end of this video, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.